This is the Real Estate Guide to Success video series. I'm here with Ronnie Adams.
We're here. We're rocking this time.
This
is going to be a good one.
I'm your host, Vance Poindexter, and today's video is going to be about the real reason your business is not succeeding is because
the real reason that people are sitting here where they'll go and find websites and they're going to, they come to our website and they look and they gain some information. I'm looking at all the videos. I think about it and I'm like, oh, I really want to do this.
Maybe they bought the ebook.
They may have. Well, I'm even going to go before they bought the ebook, okay, because that's going to show that they actually did something.
Okay.
So these are for those of us who are still just looking, and then they say, well, after a month, 2, maybe 3, it's just not working.
Yeah,
it's not going. Why is it not going? Because they haven't made what there was in their head a reality yet. Right now there's just all information. At some point you have to stop and say, okay, I have enough information, I have to do something. So now for some people, they was like, okay, I'm going to buy the ebook, and I'm going to find out exactly what's in there. And remember, our ebook is just elaborating more on information we already have out there. Much more detail is going to go into how you need to do X, Y, and Z. Now, for other people, they may do something else, but they're doing something. Right. So that's really what the problem, and it was the problem for me. When I first started out, I had a friend who we spoke about, who was a fellow teacher, co-worker, and I'm looking at him, and he's telling me he's buying properties, Okay, well, you're buying them, and he's telling me he starts making a little bit of money, and okay, but I'm listening to him, but I'm not doing nothing, right. And actually, I'm living vicariously through him at the time, It's almost like he bought the lottery ticket, and it's the winning lottery ticket. I could have went with him, right, but I didn't give him my dollar, so I had to do something. But once he said, I made $40,000 for me. And I said, okay, now we're teachers and you're making the same amount as I am. And back then, I was making $32,000 for the year, Yeah. So I said, well, okay, $40,000. And remember, I've never seen more than like 500 at one time, So I'm like, $40,000. And he said, and the words he used was, I sucked $40,000 out of my property. He said, suck $40,000. What does that mean? So I don't want to look stupid, so I'm like, well, exactly where is the money? He said, it's in my bank account. So I need to hear it. So now I'm like, I'm doing something,
So why did your motivation, what got you to move was the fact that he proved
it could be done. Yes.
So what's keeping, I guess there's a lot of reasons why other people are not taking action. It could be a fear of some sort. It could be kind of like we talked in the other video, the myths that might be out there. But for you, what drove you, what pushed you forward was the idea that you could change your situation. Right? You could make a lot more than you were making right now by actually trying and getting started.
And remember, I had somebody who was in front of me who I thought or considered to be a friend. So I was like, he's no smarter than me.
Right.
And he did it. So now I'm like, okay, well, there's no reason why I can't do it, And of course, this is why in the beginning I started with a partner. Shouldn't have did that, but it made me feel comfortable.
And you learned.
And you learn, it took a year and I had to buy 4 houses from him back, so I wasted a lot of time, but I did what I had to do just to make the first step. I was afraid to do it by myself, So instead of saying I'm just not going to do it, then I started feeling, I thought about what was my fear doing it by myself.
Right.
So I need to do something to make it so that I'm not by myself and I don't have to fear no more. Because I already had in my head I was going to do it, So I just had to do what I need to do to make myself feel comfortable. Now, people, who are looking, they have to do the same thing. They have to figure out why am I not taking the next step? And I have to do what I need to do, make myself comfortable to take the next step. You know, it was funny. I was looking at the news, and it might have been, I don't know, a couple months back. And it was, well, as a matter of fact, I think it happened like a year ago. You know, I had the lottery pools and, you know, at the offices. Now, it must have been, I don't know, it was like 15 people that always did it together, always. Mm-hmm. And one person this particular day didn't put their dollar in, and they hit. Wow. You know, now they had been playing together for years, and it was just like the one time but guess what? He didn't do what he didn't take that step. Yeah, you know, just the initiative, if nothing less, to put the dollar out or put the $5 out. He didn't feel like doing it that day, and he missed the boat, you know, and none of the other people gave him no money, you know, right. Said, yo, yeah. You wasn't in it. So it's the same thing with this. You know, people have to figure, okay, I'm coming to the site, and, you know, our YouTube is growing exponentially. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of people, new subscribers. You know, we're having a lot more people subscribe right on the website. Yep, you know, a lot of emails, and I got to get a little bit better for those of us out there that may send something and it's a week before I get back, but I got so much, you know. But I will answer all the emails. But we're getting a lot of people that's moving. And the ebook they're purchasing and everything like that. But for those other people who are, I want to do it, you gotta make it out your head as a thought and make it on paper. You know, I can think about this paper and I can visualize it in my head. All the details, I can see it, but I can't write on it until I actually pull one out. That's what we have to do. We have to actually move on what we need.
So that fear, and I guess in reality, that fear needs to be turned into what's the worst thing that can happen. Right?
I always say, hope for the best, but plan for the worst. If you plan for the worst and you know what you're going to do under the worst case scenario, then it's not so bad anymore. Right. You know, so that's a good way to live life on outside of even this. You know, look at what the worst case scenario is. Okay, I buy a property, and here's what my worst case scenario was: property burns down. I've had it happen twice now, you know, and I didn't want that, you know, because I didn't know. But guess what? You have insurance, you make it through. Is it hard or is it a scary thing? Yes, I've never had nobody get hurt, thank God, you know, but this was my big fear, right. You know. Even in the beginning, okay, if I have to put somebody out, how about if they fight me? You know, that was a fear of mine. Get a lawyer, you find out how much it's going to cost for him, sure. And you factor all that in.
So you could actually write down your fears, mm-hmm. Put down right next to it mm-hmm. what you would do if that actually happened. Mm-hmm. See that mm-hmm. it's manageable.
It's manageable,
right? Yep. And then you have no
real fear,
no real reason, because you already know what you're going to do if it happens. And you can just move forward.
And even when you write that down, then whether it would be, okay, what am I going to do if somebody I could put them out? Well, get on the phone, call a couple lawyers, or go down to the city where you're going to have to put the eviction in and find out what the process is. You know, because if you pay a lawyer, you may pay $300. If you go file it yourself and go to court yourself, then you may pay $50. You know, so it's a whole lot cheaper. Find out what the process is. When you go down to court, to file for it, there's always landlords there doing it. Talk to somebody, you know, and then you find out it's not as bad. Remember, somebody else is already doing it. You know, they're already doing it, and they're making money doing it.
It couldn't be successful. There wouldn't be so many people trying to do it.
There wouldn't be so many people trying to do it. It's not that bad.
All right, this has been a great episode. I love talking about moving people from one circumstance to another. You know, getting rid of your fears, or at least addressing your fears and being ready for it if it happens, and then taking action.
And this is more important than the actual doing. Yeah. That's what most people don't understand. They really, you know, they talk a lot about inspirational stuff. I'm like, but most people need to move to that next level. You know, you got to move to the next level. The other things is the nut and bolts, and really they're easy. But you know, for those of us who have our own business, This part was the part that you either made or broke you.
Yeah.
That's it. I have friends who, they're right with me, you know, and they didn't do it. And why didn't they do it? Because of this stuff right here, you know. So you got to get past that. That's what you really need to do.
All right, great episode as usual. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, please.
And also check out our ebook, as Ronnie mentioned. A lot of great information on there on planning and your mindset and how to deal with a lot of these fears that people have. Yeah. So check out the ebook at realestateguidetosuccess.com/ebook.
All right.
All right, man.
All right now.